inside. The old gods granted me a vision of the way to change reality. In the shadows creeping, can't rest your weary head. No time for you to sleep now, or evil it will spread. So gather all your friends and listen to my tale. Adventure story shaping the magic and the veil. Dragons, devils, demons, and creatures that are fair, and heroes of the north. Just please don't be scared. The heroes are the monsters to the enemy. It all depends upon the way that you proceed. Original GM, we're here to set you free. Come join in the adventure. Who you wanna be? Who you wanna be? We are heroes. We are
Welcome back to Original GM. I'm Hupahu, once again joined with Chikala and Wachi. And when last we left you guys, you were on the last episode of Heaven's Falling, and you were ambushed by angelic beings within the cult room of Tiamat. And people jetted, got out of there, including some very notorious individuals. You all had agreed, or the vote was to agree or not to agree about attacking heaven itself for what had happened within this world. The attack by the Platinum Dragon and all his minions, the good metallic dragons, and their warriors of light and priests and paladins has turned this world to ash. And most of the north, anyway, on this continent are shield. You're not sure about the rest of the world. You really haven't looked into that, to be honest with you. But you saw the bitch of blades disintegrated by one of those orbs. You saw some other deaths take place. You saw Safest, the dragon, that was very pivotal in the destruction of some of the angels that were there. As a matter of fact, he's the only one that killed any of them. Dusty did what he did. When you guys teleported and you came back, you are left with Sin, the other chosen one, Din, his protector, and the bitch of pain, Vala, Gorsai, Queen of the North. She is standing right next to you guys in the Temple of Nera. So there's a lot to address here. We'll try to find some time to do it. We'll start this series as Into the Heavens. Hopefully we'll get there soon. We'll see what happens. But Alexandria is with you guys. I'm going to start by saying, Eras, things that you had done in the background are all completed. She telepathies to you and tells you that your friends have returned.
Where are they?
They're in the sanctuary with me.
Okay.
A lot has happened. They were just attacked by angelic beings, and Temple of Nera is now going to join in the holy war against the heavens.
Against the heavens?
Yes. I'm in the sanctuary. You should come.
All right, I'll be there in a second. She'll go. She'll head that way.
Okay. When you get there, they're all gathered there. Alexandria says the few things that she said, like she told Zira about the orcs, and said the army should be ready now. And she says we should go somewhere safe to talk. As Eras walks in. Flies in. She goes flying in with black angelic wings. Looks like, she looks like a dark angel, and her eyes look just like the angel beings. Exactly like them. Strange. And Gordon smiles and looks at you, comes up and gives you a hug.
I'll hug him.
I like it, he says.
Me too.
He starts filling you in on what just happened
Okay.
in your head.
Kind of just gives me the lowdown.
He starts to tell you the last episode pretty much as Alexandria starts to guide everyone. And then she says, if there's anyone you think should be present, you should notify them to come to the Temple of Nera. Dusty says, what about if we don't want to go? And everybody kind of stops for a second. Alexandria stops and she looks back at him and says, I don't think I want to go. It's your choice, she says. If there's anyone here that doesn't wish to be a part of this meeting or is not interested in what we're discussing, you may leave. She looks at everybody. And Dusty kind of turns and looks at you guys. He's like, at the house. Okay.
It's okay. It is. It's okay. We understand. So kind of pat him on the back.
When you do that, he kind of looks down, smiles for a second, and then he pats you on your shoulder without looking at you. He just goes like that. And then he turns and he walks out.
Should we?
Vala just is kind of like standing there, and she's kind of in shock until she's like thinking about something, and then she goes, "Excuse me," and Alexander's like, "Yes, I've been so busy with telepathic messages since we got here. I'll need a few moments to deal with my city being destroyed." And Alexandria looks at her and goes, "I understand." She goes, "But I do want to discuss or be a part of the discussion." She goes, "Okay, you can come with us," she says. Do any of you do anything?
Who all stayed behind? It was Gorgain and Hedda.
Oh goodness. Gorgain and Hedda and Mao. And Tuffy.
Tuffy's here, right? He dimensional folded us in.
Yeah, Tuffy's with you guys. He's walking with you.
Should we tell Gorgain, Hedda, and Mal? I don't know that Hedda would want to be a part of this, but...
Gordon says, "I'll tell them all."
Okay.
What about well, he wouldn't say anything about anybody else. You guys go down the hallway, and then you go to a kind of close to the center of the Temple of Nera on the bottom level, and you come into a little room that she shuts the door, and then the room starts to go up like an elevator. Rather large elevator. We'll say cargo elevator or something like that, but it's pretty large. And then she gets you guys into a room, and there's some priests there already, and she starts talking to them and telling them what to do, and that if anyone new comes to bring them up here, who to bring up here. And you guys go into this room. And it's a rather large room with a big table. Kind of reminds you of the war room within the keep, but it's much bigger. And she says people will be coming, and I'm sure that many of you have questions. Know that, and she looks at Zira, she goes, know that your troops will be used for a particular reason. We have a plan. So, as we speak, more than likely, things are taking place. And she turns and looks at Vala, and Vala goes, she nods at her. Most likely, the minions of Erishkigal and Nagel have already attacked the heavens, as among others. Am I correct? And looks at Vala, and Vala shakes her head, yes. She goes, it is begun, it is underway. Well, I can tell you of what I know of the heavens and the outer planes in general. Having once been an avatar of Ariax, the goddess of love and beauty, I was forbidden to speak on such things. It is the duty of the outer planes beings, those responsible, representing the higher powers, to not release too much information to mortals. I am still held by some of those statements, but the fact that I am a high priestess of Nera exempts me from not using everything within my power and knowledge to succeed. Therefore, I will tell you all that I know. I lived many years up amongst them in the outer planes. So, for you, it's important to understand how it will affect you each personally. Any magic item that you carry with you, by the time it reaches the first plane of heaven, Lunia, the silver heaven, your weapons will have lost 2 dwimmers. So, a weapon that has 4 dwimmers will only have 2 when it reaches the heavens. Does that come back? And she's like, no.
Ever?
As a matter of fact, when you traverse back again, you will lose the other 2. Many items are destroyed in the process of traveling through the planes. That is why going from here, from the prime to the astral plane and into the heavens is very difficult, as you can see. The armies that are going there, this is what they are doing. And of course they are weaker because of it. It is not their desire to have a return trip with these undead. They're not worried about that. So magic is affected in this way. The assault on the prime material plane by the Platinum Dragon has brought the city of Raxamal, as you know. In their religion, they call this place the Imperial Citadel. Imperial spelt with a Y, not an I. She shrugs her shoulders. The Imperial Citadel is a thing of great magic. It's what Celestials use when they go to other planes for war. Usually they look for a location that has a portal that already connects to where they're coming from, on prime material or wherever it may be. And that is where they place the Imperial Citadel. The reason the city was built overnight is because it was built overnight. Under the veil in utter secrecy, with invisibility. The materials were brought from the upper planes, and the Imperial Citadel was built. And it's a gigantic conglomerate of interconnecting towers, majestic cathedrals, and buttresses, armories, paved streets. It's as large as a city. Its peaks rise up for miles, showing the grandeur of the seven heavens for those that can see them. The invisibility of the city itself for some reason does not stay, and I'm sure that reason is for them to show us how powerful they are. It's probably the grandest form of construction on the plane, on the prime material plane currently. Miles high towers and citadels for their dragons. It is a massive city. Being that it is a massive city and their troops are not home, it leaves the citadel somewhat less protected. And as I said at the beginning of this conversation, they usually look for a location where there is a portal already located that goes to their plane. That they bring the materials to, and that they build the Imperial Citadel upon. That is our way in to the seven heavens, through their own gate, in their own city, that is not as protected as it should be. That is where your orcs will come in. Will become indispensable. They will be coming through the gate with us. Some of them will hold off the other side if there's some sort of trouble. Those that go through the gate with us will hold the gate on the other side, so that we are assured an entrance and an exit if need be. Do you understand what I'm saying? Many of them will die. I can dimensional fold us very close to the location that we need to be in. I do not know the exact location of the portal, but I do know where the city is, and I have been on that mountain and in that mountain. I'm sure the structure of that mountain has been incorporated into the construction of that citadel. And if that's the case, I can get us very close. Beyond that, I do not know what awaits us. So my suggestion is to take a small team and first find it, dimensional fold back out, and bring the troops in as we go through the gate.
Okay.
She turns and looks at Tuffy, and he nods at her. I'll be going. He turns and looks at you guys. I cannot afford to leave right now, not from the continent with what is taking place. About that point, your mama walks in, and so does Gorgain and Mao. And Hedda. They walk in. Hedda comes up, he's like, I just wanted to say hello, y'all, and let you know that I got the house covered. That young kid's gonna be there alone with the rest of them. Kids and wife, I'm just gonna stay behind and guard things for now.
Hold down the fort for us.
As it were, lass.
I think that's a great idea, Heather.
He nods. All right, and he turns and looks up at Gorgain, and he smiles at him. He's like, I told you. Yeah, whatever. He turns and
Zero will be like, Hedda.
he stops, and he's like, kind of feel like I should hug all you, he says, and he walks around and starts hugging everybody.
When Eris hugs him, she'll telepathy him and say, do you know Gordian's trinket?
He says, I do.
We might need it.
He hugs you and gives it to you.
I'll take it.
Don't lose that much.
Oh.
Gives each of you a hug. Wishes you the best, and he tells you that it's personal reasons, you know, he says family and all. And he says, I can't look my kids straight in the face and tell them I helped destroy heaven. Just can't do it.
It's okay. We understand. We do.
There will be stuff going on here I need to take care of.
Yeah.
All right then. He nods at Alexandria, who's been quiet this whole time, but's got some maps out on the table that she just pulled out as he was in here. Your mama comes up to you and she gives you a hug, and she says, you all right?
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. It's just all so crazy.
And she goes, I won't be joining you on this venture, she says. Turns and looks at Alexandria. Wanted to come in person to let you know. And Alexandria goes, oh, I know. You didn't need to come, dear. She looks over at you, and she kind of then turns and looks at Balia, and she's like, take care of them.
Yeah. Of course.
Proud of you, she says.
Thank you.
She turns and walks out. When she comes to walk out, she opens the door and Braid walks in. He like just steps in, you know, and almost runs over, and she's like, hello. And he walks past her. She's like, well, hello, Braid. And he's like, hello. Good to see you. Good to see you. Turns back around, no emotion, you know. Walks over to you guys and walks up to Ray.
Hey.
I am to come with you, he says.
Yeah?
Yes, but it is not with you. And he turns and kind of looks at Velia and you.
What do you mean?
He turns over and looks at Eris. He's like, I am to assist her.
Eris would look at him.
He turns and looks at you. I have been summoned to assist you in the heavens. You are the keeper of the weapon. And you guys hear that?
Yes.
Jordan's like,
It happened while you guys were gone. She has gloves on.
he goes over there and stands next to you.
Braid does.
Huh?
Braid does.
Yeah. With the green eyes. And he's not in plate mail right now, so you can see that his chest has got something, you know, his shirt is loose and it's over something that's glowing green. And it's about this big.
She'll make no qualms about sizing him up and looking at him. Like, you feel me? Like,
He looks like a golem.
he looks like a golem.
To you, you know, the only thing that you've really seen that looks like him is a golem. But
So,
he's
like-
flesh. Yeah,
She
sure.
might think he might be a construct or something.
Yeah, he kind of has the look of a construct.
Weird.
Strange.
Okay.
Yeah, and you can tell Velia and Bay and all of them are kind of looking weird at him and at you, like, what the fuck's going on?
Ray's sad. You feel
Yeah.
me? Like, she's sad about it. She's like, that was my best friend.
He kind of looks over your direction, and when he sees that you're sad, and you see a stone go from like a green to a yellow, and he's like, "Are you okay, Ray?"
Yeah.
And it goes back to green.
What was that?
And he just kind of, like after he asks that, and you say okay, it goes back to green. He just kind of faces forward, and you say, "What was that?"
Yeah.
Kind of looks at you and he goes, "I'm sorry."
It turned yellow.
Yes. Sometimes my thoughts control the color that comes from the stone. The heart stone is connected to my mind. Alexandria is like, "Yes, there's a lot with that deer," and she kind of looks at you and goes, "But at least he's alive.
Yeah.
I know it's hard for both of you." And she looks at him, and he just kind of looks at her and nods. "I think that Ray can help me feel." And he looks over at Alexandria, and she's like, "Oh, okay." Yeah. Another side effect of it is that he wants to feel even though he can't. I can't feel at all. I want to, though. It's very difficult.
Eris at that point would look at them and be like, I wonder if I could charm him to feel.
Alexandria looks at you and goes, "No,
No?
you couldn't charm him."
Really?
Really.
She'll smile and look at him.
He just looks at you like glowing green eyes. Charm no longer has any effect on me whatsoever. Because my mind is as solid as it ever was.
That's a good person to have your back.
Psionics don't affect me either, dear. Anyway, we should get to what I'm discussing. It's very difficult to divine anything from the heavens. It is not like the lower planes. We can only guesstimate what is going on right now. Our only connection would be Vala, the queen. And she looks over at Vala, and Vala's like, "Yes, I've been in contact, discussing what's going on, and it seems as though they're attacking from the beaches, from the surf, but lots of undead are dying. It seems that the ocean itself is made of holy water. So they're building bridges of zombies' bodies to get across." Alexandra says, "Yes, the only portal into the first plane is there unless you find another one that's already fixed and has been there, such as the ones they use to transport their materials to build their citadels."
Right.
As I was saying, and she starts talking about the citadel, she says, "We would just need to find the portal to get through it. That would be the most difficult part. I can get you into the citadel itself, but I don't know where it will be, where I'm putting you." And once again, divining anything against this enemy has been next to impossible. It is not like when we divined against Warkeep. She looks over at the queen and smiles a little bit. She's like, "We could gather all sorts of information, especially with their dealings with the lower planes. We knew a lot. Here is different. We can't seem to garner or gather information as readily as we should. I will state that our goddess has declared war. Therefore, information and things of that nature will change for her. She will get her vengeance, as will we. It wasn't but a month ago I walked out of the temple of Nera and saw the beautiful growing flowers and the lush grass right outside the temple. Kids playing with sticks and balls. Dwarven people, orcish people, elven people. All races intermingled, enjoying life. They will pay for what they have done. She nods and begins to unfold the plans to this keep. The plan, she doesn't have like a map of the keep, but she unfolds the plan of her how to go about doing it. The maps that are on the table that you see are of the first plane of heaven. You see the Silver Sea, and it's the first plane of heaven. And I'll show it to you. You see it, and yeah. So that'll come in handy because you'll be able to see what everything on it is. And she can describe to you what little she knows about the locations that are there, and whether or not they will be the same depends on what kind of warring is affecting what, where they're going, what they're doing. She says, I would guess they're going to try to make it to the second layer. And to do that, you must go up into the mountains, on the really tall mountains, and through citadels, different places to find entrances to the second plane, and they're well guarded. It's quite the deal. So my idea is, while they're dealing with them, we find a way to send a small group through the gate to the second plane, to the palace of Bahamut. Now, there are rumors that he is able to move his citadel, which is miles and miles and miles long. One structure that holds all of his beings and people. Dragons and all of them. It's rumored that he moves this city from the first plane to the second plane to the third plane of heaven upon whims. It'd be really nice if we could find it on the first.
Right.
And we didn't have to go to the second. Or if we could find information about if it is on the first, or if it is on the second, where those locations are, because we do not know. There are cities here. If we go in with a small group undercover, we might be able to find more information.
How small of a group are we talking?
A dozen or under. We could do more than one group, 2 small groups with the same task in different areas. That's another idea.
Eris would tell Alexandria it would be easy for me to go in disguised, I think. I can speak lawful good, she would tell her.
Really? That is good. That would be helpful.
So I could blend in,
Mm.
especially if my turn needs white.
I will put you in charge of the first group.
Okay.
Pick your team. You get 5. Gordon, you have the other team. Gordon's like, but I want to hang out with my wife. And she's like, well, there will be time for that. It's not now. He just kind of looks down. He's like, okay.
He was her first
And
pick
she's like,
too.
you got-
Alexandria knew that.
You got 5. She says and looks at him. As for the 4 of you, and she turns and looks at Valia and Ray and Sin and Dim. She says, we'll need to talk separately about your task and duty. To prophecy and to Nera and to the people of this world. It never is written whether you will save the world from turning to ash or whether you will be the one to stop it from continuing. Obviously, that is what's taking place in prophecy is true. For the rest of the world has not been turned yet. Only the North, only us. She looks at Vala and she's like, and my queen, I don't think that it would be prudent for you to go to the heavens and leave your people in suffering and ash. And you see Vala just kind of look at her like, what? She's like, you are queen. Has no one told you that yet? And Vala's like, well, pardon me, but yes, I've been saying it for a long time. She goes, well, we all know it's true. It's whispered in the shadows. Just because someone has not come and told you that should not be reason for you to not make it so. Vala kind of smiles at her for a second. She goes, well, my goal is to make sure that the world is not destroyed like everyone else's here. My responsibility is in blood. Alexandria would say, I believe the council needs to vote on it, but I think most people would agree that we need a leader, someone that has our best interest in mind. It will take a lot to take you as that leader, as a general rule, unless the public is educated on the fact that you really are. So, that is something I will take care of with the council. And we will vote on it and discuss a way to do this correctly. Vala smiles and nods to her. She says, thank you so much, High Priestess. I appreciate your support. At that point, she pulls out necklaces and gives each of you a necklace. Everybody that's going. She just puts a big pile of them on the table and she tells you, these will act as phylacteries of faithfulness and they will keep your alignment solid. They will also hide it from you or from anyone else. And they will also hide you from being spied upon. So they're necklaces of non-detection, and they act as phylacteries of faithfulness.
Does she give just our high-level characters, or does she give Regalia and
everybody that's going? So as the teams are being picked,
okay.
the 6 and 6, and then the other 4, she asks them to come with her as they're picking their teams and come with me, please. And she takes you guys through another door, and it'll be Valia, Ray, Sin, and Dim. Tuffy is in there as well. Alexandria will close the door behind her, and you see a woman sitting over in the corner by a fireplace. This is a smaller room. By a fireplace, looking at you guys with a chair kind of kicked back and her leg up on a table, wearing a gray robe with chains that are glowing ember colored that tighten around her body and move and kind of twist here and there, and her eyes are these burning orange eyes. She goes, I would like to introduce you to the High Priestess of the Temple of Nera, the avatar of Nera on this planet. You see Sin kind of lower his head.
Ray would too. She would.
Dim doesn't do much. She just kind of nods at her. She says, pleasure to meet you. And you hear this rough, raspy voice. This is pleasure to meet you. But when she speaks it, you see her lips are moving, but the sound's coming from the walls behind you. Pleasure to meet you.
On the back of your neck,
You see the high priestess step to the side, and then this woman kind of leans forward and brings the chair back down and stands up. And she's short. She's about 5'2", not very big. She says, I have asked for you to come in here because I would like to request that you make your choices according to the information that I provide you with. You are the chosen ones, the protectors. I do not believe that Mysteria, Mistival, would like to have you all in the same location. I would believe that the sneak attack coming from behind would be them, not Tiamat. Tiamat should stay here on the Prime with us and continue the plan that we have here on the Prime. What do you think? Sin kind of looks at you guys and he's like, you mean Dim and I stay here and they go? Yes, that is the information that I've provided for you. The possibility of what you should do. It is up for you to make the decisions, each of you individually. Sin turns and looks at Valia. What do you want to do?
Yeah, Rue would too. She look at Billy.
Do you want to stay here? Do you want me to go? Or do you want me to stay here? She suggests I stay here. He looks at Dim and he's like, that's probably why.
Yeah.
Can't take a bunch of demons into heaven. You fit better.
Be a lot less noticeable.
He turns and looks at her and he's like, we've made our decision. She's like, very well. I thought you should know that Nera is watching. And whether you consider her an ally or not is not important. What is important is that you know that her blessings are upon you. She holds out her hand like this, and you see 4 pearls that are black in color. And she goes, for each of you, come forward. Take your communion from Nera. You see Sin immediately takes it. You do?
Yeah.
Okay. Dim kind of leerily walks up and goes,
Really will take it.
on the Prime, this will get rid of something that you do not desire to be near you. In the heavens, it will bring you home. And she turns and walks through a door. At that point, Alexandria stands back up, kind of tall and proud with her hair, blonde hair, and she goes like that. She's like, so, you two don't need to come back. And she looks at Sin, and he nods at her, and he kind of comes up to you guys. He's like, I know we don't know you. And then you see Dim kind of walk up. He's demon eyes looking at you. No, we don't know you very well yet, but I believe we're on similar paths, so we should wish luck on one another. So I wish for you the best.
Same.
He nods and looks at Alexandria, and she points at this other door. She like goes like that. They turn and leave and go out. Alexandria takes you back into the other room. Meanwhile, everybody's in the other room. You're going to pick your people, so you needed help knowing who all was in there.
I did.
All right. So Havoc, Bay, Tuffy,
Okay.
Mal, Myra, Lily, Gorgain, Gordon, but he's not included in your list. Zira, Talda. When she leaves, Talda stands up and looks at you guys, and she's like, "Guys, I'm Drow. Drows are not readily accepted in heaven. I would be a glowing target against your goals. I think I could best be used here at home. Though it makes me sad that you're going alone. If I was to stay here, it would be better for all of us. Keep an eye on Hedda and the others."
Okay, Tatilda. Fearless.
So she's out of it,
Yeah.
and she'll leave. She'll leave. Tell everybody goodbye.
Eris would telepathy Gordon
Mm-hmm.
and tell him, be like, Hedda gave me Gorgane's trinket.
Okay.
I don't know that I want to be responsible for that,
Hmm.
just to be perfectly honest with you.
Okay.
You know, having the weapon and doing that, like I have to prioritize,
Of course.
and I don't know that I want another thing to be responsible for.
So you want Gorgane to come with me?
Yeah,
Okay.
she'll hand him the trinket.
All right.
Lily?
Okay. So it's Eris, Braid, Lily, Gordon, Zira, Gorgane. Myra, Mal, Tuffy, Bay, and Havoc.
She obviously braids with me.
Gordon doesn't, and then Gordon. When you say that, Gordon goes, "Yes." So it's me, Zira, and Gorgane, because you gave him Gorgane.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Should look at Myra. Obviously, you're with Lily.
They come back in. Velia and them come back in about this point. So Myra's with Lily over there.
That's 3 for me. How many can we pick? 5?
Yeah, there's 6 per team. So
Get 2 more.
when you guys come back in, they're picking people, and Sin and Dim don't come back in with them. There was something else. What was it? I can't remember. Oh well, I'll remember in a minute. So you chose Myra?
Lily and Braid so far.
Okay.
Got 2 more.
Yeah.
Did Alexandria walk back in with them?
She did.
Eris would ask her if they included in this.
They'll be going with your groups, yes. So they need to go with Gordon.
So that gives him 2 more.
Velia and Ray will go with Gordon. Yeah.
I'm having a hard time thinking. I
Yeah?
am. I'm
Are
having
ya?
a really hard time, yeah. Havoc will probably go with 0. Right?
No, Gordon hadn't picked him.
Okay.
Not yet.
Eris would smile and be like, "We need a meat suit." She'd look at Vay.
Okay. He comes over there, looks over at Billy, and then like, what the fuck is going on?
We don't have any tanks.
Doesn't argue though. All right, so that leaves Tuffy, Mal, or Havoc for Eris. You all be going together at first, by the way.
Right.
Then when you
This
split
is
up.
when we split off.
Yeah, once you get to the heavens, when you split off.
Is Tuffy still in his full plate? He is, isn't he?
Yeah.
But we need a healer.
Actually, no, he's not in full plate right now. He's not in full plate. He can be, but he's not right now. He,
Yeah.
yeah.
Tuffy.
Okay.
So I've got Brave, Lily, Myra, Tuffy, and Vay.
Gordon picks Mal and looks at Havoc and says, actually, no. He wouldn't piss Zero off. He would telepathy Zero. Do you want Havoc to come?
She would telepathy Alexandria.
Yeah.
Be like, do we need to have Havoc helping to guide troops while I'm gone?
It could be helpful.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
She would look at Havoc. Zero would look at Havoc and be like, we're gonna need your help with the troops, with our people, while we're doing this.
Okay.
And you're my second in command.
So he gets Mal. All right. There's the 12. There's the 12. They're on the wrong side of heaven.
So.
Righteous side of hell, though.
Be careful with that copyright.
Yeah, right. I didn't sing it. Should be good.
So, by going in the way we're going in, does that mean that
Your weapons will retain their,
the magic?
yeah.
So, what about other magic items that are not artifact, like our rings?
So if you travel from one plane to the next, once you're there, they'll lose a plus if they're not artifact. So if you go from the first plane of heaven to the second plane of heaven, it'll lose a plus, as far as she knows. Or go from the first plane of heaven to the astral or back home through one of the gates that's there, you'll lose a plus. If you come back through the gate that we're planning on going through, their gate, that won't happen.
And then what about just regular magic items? Do they just like lose their power?
No,
They work fine.
yeah, it should be fine.
Ray would say, I don't know about your blade, Vilya, but I know mine is what's called a planar blade. And it gets 2 pluses
Yeah.
on outer planes. I don't know if yours works like that or not, but
Alexandria says, interesting, so your blades will get stronger in the heavens.
I don't know what hers, but I know mine does. Yeah,
Hmm.
it gets 1 in inner planes and 2 in outer and elemental.
Goodness.
I don't know if mine
So
does.
does that stack?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that weapon will be a +8. Get there.
Goodness. Yeah, it's gonna glow. Yeah. So.
Oh, that's wonderful.
Zira, Alexandra tells you that you can leave your zombies there.
Okay. Anywhere in specific?
Tell them to train the zombies in the room that I'm going to take them to.
Okay.
And in fighting with their swords and shields and stuff, but not to harm or kill or do anything of that nature.
She will. She'll tell him exactly that.
Tell them to follow my commands.
Follow Alexandria's commands.
She says, I'll be back. Tuffy, you got it? And he's like, yes, High Priestess. And she says, come with me. And they go with her. Tuffy at that point says, I'll be casting protections on all of you if you'll accept my spell.
Yeah.
Some of these things are going to help you when we get there. Some of them might not work, I don't know. But I'm going to put word of recall on all of you. So you may recall to this location right here.
Will it work from other planes?
I don't know if it'll work from the heavens or not. However, it does work more than one plane removed.
Okay.
It's supposed to be 3 planes removed with the ability that I'm using right now, but I don't know. That's the thing. That's why I said
Okay.
could or could not. So he would go around, let you all pick a word to say that will recall you back to the temple. Actually, it wouldn't be the room you're in now. He tells you it'll be the sanctuary. Off to the side sanctuary. Excuse me. Takes him a while to do that. By the time he gets done doing that, Alexandria comes back. And you got all your necklaces and everybody's together and everything. She says, basically, I am going to send you to Raxamol, the Imperial Citadel here on the Prime. And you're going to try to find the portal and do your best to do that. And if it gets to be too hairy and the mission's failed, Tuffy can get you back here, or you can use your word of recalls. Excuse me. Hopefully you'll find your way quickly. Tuffy's got a spell active that will help him find the portal.
Okay.
Once the portal's found, Tuffy will be gating in the Orcish army of Nera. And your brother will be in charge of coordinating that. So I know you probably have a bunch of questions. There are beings of greater power there that are not to be messed with or toyed with. There's a term we call, in the Outer Planes, called proxy. There are different types of proxies, but proxies are basically avatars of the Outer Planes, chosen by their deities. They possess greater strengths and powers than normal beings. A lot of the beings that are also out there are immortal or celestial. That makes them unique and different in many different ways. I can't even begin to tell you all the different ways. The society is based on law and goodness. On some of these particular cities that are on the first plane. There is a city there called Heart's Faith that is on the coast. This city is known for trading from all over the Outer Planes, even. There are beings of various alignments there, even in that city. It's the city that is closest to the portal. Traders come from the ocean, from the Silver Sea as well. I'm not sure where from or how any of that works in that location, but I know that the astral plane is accessed and comes out of that portal as well. So there have been statements in the past about certain agreements with certain beings for trade and things like that, where they can use the Silver Sea to come into the first plane of heaven with vessels.
Okay.
But that city, Heart's Faith, is where all that trading is done. There's another city called the Pilgrimage, located up here to the north. The portal is located right here, and she's showing you on the map the Outlands Gate, as they call it.
Okay.
And you'll come through on an island, and then you'll have to go across through the surf to Harmony Beach.
Okay.
This is a cliff right here by Communion. So you have to go that way unless you fly, which you can fly, and a lot of people do that. The Golden Road is located here, the Great Golden Road. It's a road they say is made out of ivory and gold and silver,
Okay.
with reliefs on it. Communion and Restoration are military strongholds for the first plane. This is where you're going to see their troops and probably draconic kind, angelic kind, celestials of all sorts guarding that area. Pilgrims come from the Prime, and then also individuals who pass on and go to the heavens. The Harmony's Beach is where they will show up. Through the portal, through the Harmony Beach. So there are angelic beings there on the beach, and other types of beings that collect people that come and guide them to their final resting place, which could be the city of Heart's Faith, or it could be wherever. So Pilgrimage, specifically up north over here, is a place where they send the pilgrims, people that have come on a pilgrimage, that have come to pray at the altars or come to the temples of the gods that are located here on this plane.
Okay.
All this is hearsay, she says to you. What I have learned, the maps, all of this is hearsay.
Okay.
It could be different than what I've given you. I don't know.
All right.
There are other things that I have excluded from telling you because they're most likely fables.
Most likely.
Yes. It's very difficult to know what is real and true about heaven because so many people have so many different feelings about what heaven is. And it seems one person's heaven might not be another person's heaven. So the description of the location that they went to or have been was different.
Mm-hmm.
This place is different, and it's vast. The first plane is very large. It's a mountainous region with a beach. It's an island. It's probably around 50 miles, the island.
So Heart's Faith might be a good place to find out information, especially
It
if
could
there's
be.
multiple alignments there.
Could be, but
Good.
we don't know where their portal's going to come out.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
It's probably not where those portals are.
It could be on the second plane of heaven, right in his stronghold. We seriously doubt that.
Oh.
They wouldn't leave something that vulnerable. It may not even be guarded. I mean, no one has ever attacked an Imperial citadel and gone in as far as I know.
Right. What
Yes,
we're
what
talking
you're-
about doing is considered crazy.
It is considered crazy, but we're going to help you stay hidden and get to your objective. So each and every one of you should have the ability to disguise or hide yourself, invisibility or whatever that may be. If you do not, we can provide the means to do so.
She'll take her wings away. She's saying that.
Okay,
She'll bring them in.
all right. Disappear. I know that Tuffy has an item that can help with that, but I also know that Braid can. And Braid nods. He says, for a short time, I can make whoever is around me invisible.
Okay.
Now, I wouldn't count on invisibility always working against some of these angelic beings, so use it wisely and when you need it. Coming into the place is probably the best time to use it, just in case.
Okay.
And for that matter, you could send someone that can already do it naturally instead of using a spell if someone has that ability. She looks around at everybody.
To become invisible?
Yeah.
I have some scrolls.
So you can cast invisibility. Do you have improved invisibility? Whomever goes through the portal first should have that on.
Okay.
And then if able, scout and come back to let us know. Let you know it's on the other side. So you should decide who that's going to be out of your individuals in the group.
What do you think, boss?
See that there is?
She would laugh.
Gordon says, I'll go through. I don't need a scroll. You know what I'm saying? When we get there, I'll go through and look, and then come back and let you know where we're at.
Right.
Alexandria continues. She says, the island is a paradise. As I said before, not many people get into heaven as what you would think. So vast majorities, huge tracts of land are exactly that. Heaven. No people. Empty.
She just told us something about herself.
Serene. Yes. And yeah, so that's.
That would be a high priestess.
Now there are animals and creatures native to heaven, and many of those animals are harmless animals. Many of those animals are harmless animals, like rabbits and moles and things like that won't harm people or And any animal that you do see there most likely could have the ability of intelligence. It will not be like on the planet.
So, are animals that harm, they're not there, right?
Well, if they are, they're intelligent. They're not
I see.
beasts that hunt things down, or it wouldn't be heaven.
Right. So my snake, and she would
So-
kind of look to the side, would be really noticeable.
Most likely.
There's a poisonous snake on the planet.
I would say there are no snakes on that island. But there are creatures who are part snake on that island. In the first heaven. It is said they have beasts there with multiple heads of multiple creatures, all at the same time. You've already experienced seeing the hounds, the archons with the wolf or dog heads.
The wheat hairs wasn't there.
He looks around, she looks around, and yeah, we see them. Strange things that you would not consider normal. Now, towns and villages, the people, the pilgrims, people like that, they're all normal people seeking purity and enlightenment and love and joy and peace. And it's not, the people don't even lock their doors in the cities. Most of anything that comes through that's evil or something of that nature, or even chaotic, sorts itself out rather quickly. Those that guard and watch over heaven don't allow that kind of energy within here, within the heavens, for very long before they take care of it. How they take care of it, they're very famous for indoctrinating individuals and changing people's minds, having them look differently at things. This is not all I know, but it's enough for you to understand. Everything is built on a hierarchy. One angelic being may look identical to the next, but their hierarchy might be different. One may be in charge of the other. I know that their hierarchy is developed and based in metals, or the colors of metals, starting with brass, copper, silver, gold, platinum. If they have platinum, then you know that their highest ranking of their kind or their station. And through each of those angelic stations, they must go through those metals with good deeds being done, or whatever it may be that they consider appropriate. I know some areas in the heavens, they're very easygoing. People make mistakes, they understand and they forgive and forget. Somebody steals something, they forgive them. And then in other areas, you get your arm chopped off for stealing things. So, it can be dangerous with their laws and their ways. And each location is different.
Zero would say I have some no custom scrolls that we could use. I only have 2 of them, but
We used to use those all the time.
we did.
So,
We did.
we have more. She can get you more scrolls so that everybody that goes can have no customs. As you're discussing it and talking about it, you'll have those to invoke when you get there.
Tuffy
but-
0, I'll have to cast.
Tuffy or Zero will have to cast. And she says that, and Tuffy says he has them. She says, I have some. It's like, you still got those were from me?
I do, yeah.
Aww. Hey, they finally came in useful.
Right? I still have most of those scrolls you gave me. Just haven't needed them up to this point.
At that point, Alexandra gets serious and she says, make no mistake, you are the enemies of goodness now. You have embarked on something that must be done because of the actions of those that thought themselves justified for their judgments and have destroyed and caused destruction. In their mind's eye, they believe that wiping anew means destroying all those that are no longer reachable. And I believe that they cause discourage because of this very reason, that none of us are redeemable nor reachable. And because of that, because we will not follow in their ways, destruction has been their answer. There are probably those within the heavens that don't agree with what they have done here. There may be allies in heaven. Those allies may change everything.
Right.
Once you are there, your goal and duty will be to find the great city, the great palace of Bahamut. The reason for this, of course, is to find him. Do not be so foolish as to underestimate anything that is in the heavens. But do not give up too easily and consider yourselves capable. Since there are vast tracts of land, there is always somewhere to escape to if you have a means or a way to do that. Tuffy will be with you, so escape is merely a portal away. Dimensional folding hopefully works the same there. We will see. We don't know. I assume we know that it doesn't work from here to there anywhere. But maybe there it might work. And if so, if it can come back to here, that's another way back. But more importantly, it might be a means of transporting and traveling on the island.
Okay. So any kind of conjuration or summoning is going to draw attention to us as well, right?
Depends on what you conjure or summon, I suppose. Just generally, will it? In some locations, no. No, it's not common for a mage to be walking through a city street with a fire element.
Right.
There's no need within heaven.
Right.
There are wardens over cities, warden archons, and tome archons. There are trumpet archons and horn archons of different types. The angels of brass. There's the Radiant Wing, which is a group of dedicated metallic dragons who guard the first heaven. Around 200 of them that are all in agreement, various colors, to guard the island. Some of them traverse about the island in cities or not in cities in human form or elven form or whatever form they wish to take. Some of them change forms often to fly, then to land into something else. The rumors abound. And she turns and looks over at Eris. She says, we could probably spend, the next 365 days with a concert each night and never tell of all the tales of heaven. See, there are areas that are solid gold. Some of the streets are solid gold. Most of the tales of truth that we know through many, many people that have traveled and been to the first plane throughout history is that it is ivory and gold and silver. The roads are. They're not gold. They're not solid gold. But honestly, ivory and gold and silver in a relief form is more impressive to me than solid gold.
Right.
Some say it tells a story, the whole road. One to record it might find some secret or something. Rumors abound. You'll be going to a place that you cannot easily just return from and then go back. If you do return, it will take a while to get back. As
Right.
before.
What about the currency there? How does that work? Do you know?
There is no currency.
No.
No. No. Like a universal currency. You can still buy things with gems and silver and gold and platinum. Gold existed, which gold may and most likely will exist there.
Yeah.
If you two were to find gold again somehow and return it back to the prime, it would be worth a lot more than it normally would. She nods. You see Malgo.
Yeah. Yeah. I had to ask.
I will take care of the others that stay behind, and she walks over to Eris and hands her a ring and walks over to Gordon and hands him a ring.
Take it.
She says, "You will be able to speak with me 9 planes removed with those rings."
Put it on.
I want them back.
Yes, ma'am.
Gordon's like, okay. Gordon says, "Can we speak to each other 9 planes removed?" And she's like, "Probably 17, she says. He's like, "Huh?" "Well, each of you can reach 9 planes. You can connect it on the 10th plane. That's 17. So, or on the 8th plane, that would be 7. 9th plane would be 17. Because you would be connecting on the same number, so
Right.
16 actually. It'd be 16. Isn't that right? 16 planes. I've never tried that. We haven't tried that, but both rings still have to be 9 planes removed. Let us hope that you're no more than 2 or 1. Now I will remind you, Lily, a gate spell will get you from this place to another. Careful where you open it. Use it quickly. So there are ways out.
It'll also have negative side effects as well.
Yes. You will. As we speak, the war is begun in heaven, but it has not begun in a way that you would think. Currently, it is still in the surf where the zombie bodies are piling up and then washing out, and then piling up, and some are coming across on the beach and they're being destroyed. But it is a great distraction for us, and it will not stop for some time. There are enough undead from them that they will need to concentrate their efforts on that area, which will leave other areas open, so we'll see. I've done the most divinations I can and everything that I can to try to find out as much as I can. I will get you to the safest, closest location to the portal. Once there, Tuffy will open a gate for the orcs to come through. First, go through. Check the other side.
And Gordon's gonna do that.
Okay. Is there anything else I can do for you? Let's see. Yes.
She's saying we need to disguise ourselves.
It would be appropriate for you to look as not as any kind of being of evil. When you see her turn to look at Faye, he nods, and you see his armor should change again to the white paladin armor.
That's what I was gonna do. Take exactly what I'm wearing, but turn it all white.
Okay, that's what Ares does.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. If you don't look evil, then you're fine. You're just a normal person, you know. You don't look evil.
Yeah. I was dressed in all black.
Myra and I both look like hellions.
You need to change shit, and not just by illusion either.
Is mine by illusion? Changing my armor?
Who?
Eris.
No.
Okay. I didn't think so. I was just making sure.
No.
Yeah. I've never asked that question before. That's good to know.
Yeah, no, it's not by illusion.
Zero would kind of stop and look at herself and be like, oh.
But she's green, she got tusk, she's got bone through her nose, you're right.
There's no bone through her
Yeah.
nose, but around her neck, yeah, sure
Yeah.
is a bone.
So, polymorph self and polymorph other is not illusion magic, it's alteration.
Right.
Will that work?
It could. What's the duration on that? You know what I mean? There's things like that, but I think it might be more appropriate to just do it non-magically.
Are orcs looked at the same way the drow are there?
Yeah.
They are. You'll need to keep your head covered. You'll need to keep your body covered.
Polymorph other is permanent.
Yeah, it is.
That's
That's right. I think I should know that, but I should have known that. I knew that, but you don't want to use that. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
you.
I think you have to roll like a system
So,
shock
yeah,
for
well-
that spell, and like there's all those big
So,
side effects that go with it.
What about Alexander says? Well, what about just finding some clothing that would look more appropriate towards normality, just not evil. So Zira has to. You're gonna have to do something. You're gonna have to armor or something.
I can go talk to David.
Okay.
She'll telepathy. Hey, David. Back in the city yet?
Yeah.
Are you okay?
Yeah. Is everyone all right?
Yeah, we're all okay. I need your help. And I think a couple people here might need your help too.
All right. Where are you?
We're at the Temple of Nera.
Okay. I love how you just casually. Who's this doing?
It's Zero.
Yes, I love how you just casually talk to me after we almost all lost our fucking lives.
Well, we're okay. I'm sorry. I
Oh,
guess
you
I'm
say you're
calloused.
okay? I promise you, you're not okay. I'm not okay.
I'm calloused. It's what I do, man.
There's a bruise under that callus, I promise.
So,
You need some help, dear.
I'm fine.
Need to talk about your feelings. Hey, it's not my place. You should talk to your priest. Oh, wait. You're a priestess. Yeah, I'm sure you've got it covered.
Like I said, I'm fine.
Where in the Temple of Nera? How am I supposed to find you?
She would look it up.
And what do you want me to do before I come?
Well, so we need to all not look evil.
Really?
Yeah.
That's interesting.
I know, right?
Alexandria looks at you and she's like, so clothing can be provided by the Temple of Nera.
Oh.
We can take care of that. Let's not bother David with this.
Okay.
He doesn't need to know. And no one needs to know. She kind of turns and looks around the room. No one else needs to know the exact details. Even those that have left have been told to please not speak of it.
Okay. She would telepathy David back to be like, actually, never mind. So sorry to bother you.
Really?
Yeah.
Now I am way intrigued.
Love you. She'll disconnect. We cut off.
No, that bitch didn't just hang up. Bitch just hung up on.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I'm gonna get it for that later. It's okay.
So you could get correct clothing here and tailors and stuff from the temple and all that. They suggest not magic to hide anything, to just do things as normal. So honestly, you can get an adventuring outfit that's completely and utterly. I'm probably really low on the screen, like hiding from the.
When you sit back, yeah.
You can get yourself another outfit that just basically looks normal or good.
For over everything else.
Huh?
For over.
So like if you have a scabbard that your sword goes in, that scabbard can be done to where it looks like a, changing yourselves, the belts,
Zira's gonna have to 100% change what she's
the
wearing.
clothing, all of that.
The hand. She's gonna have to have gloves on.
You are.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're gonna have to completely redo everything. Everybody is, and that's what Alexandria says. She goes, I know it will take time, but we'll get it done as quickly as we can.
Be worth it.
And I would say in the meantime, take care of things if you need to, but I would rather you not leave the temple before you go. No one needs to know what you're up to, what you're doing.
Makes sense.
So she'll do that and get that stuff put together for you. They will walk over to Velia. So I'm not going with you.
That's weird, huh?
Ray look and be like, you gonna be okay without us?
Actually, it's a relief to finally be able to do something without you. Smiles. I wonder if there's a way to find out how we can get a stiff drink in heaven. That's what there's gotta be a way, right? It's heaven. A drink. I need a drink.
You can't get drunk.
I can think of no better heaven than a place where I can get drunk. It's heaven, right? He smiles at you. So that's my goal when I get there. So secondary to our quest, of course, but I want to find something that I can drink that will work.
I don't know if it works that way.
Keep your eye open.
Hey, be careful what you're asking for. What if the answer to that is you're not immortal anymore? And any drink gets you drunk.
Yeah, I ain't asking for a wish or nothing crazy
I'm
like
just saying, be careful what you ask for.
that. This is what I'm saying. We're immortals, right?
Yeah.
She said there's immortals there.
Yeah.
How do they get drunk?
Maybe
There's got to be a way. And he smiles at you. Keep your ears open. Let me know.
We'll
And
let
hey,
you know if we
if
hear
it's
anything.
that good for immortals, then we could probably sell just a couple tiny half shots of it in real life. Not really half shot, but put it in whiskey bottles. Yeah, that's it. We'll call it the Sith whiskey. Welcome to the dark side, and the whole time it's something from heaven.
I like it.
Yeah. So keep your ears and your eyes
Clever.
open. And yeah. Alexandria gets everything you need. All your clothing, equipment, everything can be taken care of, added on to with cloths or whatever it needs to be to make it look normal and not evil. You just need to appear non-evil, and I think really the only problem with this is going to be Zira. So they're going to give you a cloak that covers all of you
Okay.
that you can wear, and it's brown.
Alright.
Then Alexandria will say, so we do have a slight issue. I do believe that there are beings there that can detect undead. The necklaces should protect you from being detected as undead. So don't take them off.
Okay.
And of course the water surrounding the island is holy water, so it will harm anybody that is undead or has undead.
So,
Yeah.
yeah, Lily and Zira at the same time. If I'm holding my orb and you're in a 10-foot radius of me, it will render holy or unholy water completely useless.
Well, that's good for you guys, some of you. So all that stuff can get taken care of. And then once you guys get all that done, she tells you when you're ready, I will transport you to the Imperial Citadel, and you guys can move as a group and find the portal. Tuffy gets all his stuff together, and everybody joins together, and Alexandria will open up a dimensional fold from this room that you guys are in. The hallway that you see is lit up, bright lights. The walls are glimmering with gemstones and brass. You do see a corner, because the light is so bright, you do see a corner. When I say a corner, it's a large area. It's probably 20 feet rectangular, triangular of shadow. And that's where you guys are at. That's where she's looking through. And it looks into the hallway in both directions. You can see it's empty, but lights are everywhere. She tells you you're within 60 feet of the portal when you come out of this.
Okay.
But we don't know anything about this location. So you should go in with stealth.
All right.
Everybody goes through the portal.
Yep.
Tuffy comes in last, and it closes behind you. You guys are sitting in that little triangular shadow area. You can hear noise in the distance, and the hallway you're in is really tall. It's open to the sky to the right. Like this is on some edge or something, you're not sure, but you can see up into the sky from where you guys are standing, looking down the hallway, and see up into the sky a little bit. You realize that it's open. Tuffy tells you it's to the left. He telepathies everybody, it's to the left.
Okay.
Gordon will go first with Mal
Okay.
up front. Gordon will telepathy. He says most likely there is not any traps, but there might be a magic. So can we get somebody detecting magic up front?
No. I'm sorry.
Ray? No?
Ray cannot detect magic. She can detect good and evil.
Lily's got it.
Lily's got it. So Lily will go up there with Gordon and Mal. The three of you take the front of it. These hallways are wide, like 35, 40 feet wide. They're huge. And they look like the small hallways. As you come to the left, it turns to the right into a big hallway that looks to be 75 feet wide and maybe 80 feet tall. And at the end of that hallway, you guys see some kind of spire that's made of a crystal that's in the room. And in that room, you can see gold and silver inlay. It's shining in that room. Tuffy tells you to the left and down these stairs, and you come to this staircase and you start going down. You guys get to the bottom of it, and Tuffy says to the right, and it's right there, he says. So Gordon and Mal and you kind of creep up to the edge of the wall. Gordon goes first, and then he comes back and he says there are two guards at the door to the room. You need to take them. Any suggestions, ideas? We need to incapacitate these guards. They're probably paladins. Some maybe, some may not.
Try to charm them.
They have magic resistance if their swords are out. If their swords are up, so.
Right. Try
try Johnny.
Eris,
What do you guys think?
let's have a secondary plan, but sounds like a good idea. He motions you up.
I'll walk up.
You can still hear noises and stuff in different places, but they're far away. You hear. Would you stop that? Would I stop what? Would you stop yawning? You're making me tired. I wasn't yawning. Yes, you were. You just yawned. Oh, well, I wasn't aware of it.
What's telepathy, everybody? I have some sleep potions.
You're yawned again. There you go. You yawned again. Did I? Yes. You just did it. He's like, why don't you go get some coffee or something? He's like, well, I guess I could. Would you like some? He's like, and you know I want some coffee. And he's
Now?
like, well, why don't you come with me then? And he's like, whoa. Gordon's like, we're supposed to be on duty. He's like, nothing is within 100 feet of us, let alone somebody breaking in. I guess you're right. Probably better than falling asleep, right? He's like, yeah, come on. We'll only be gone like 10, 15 minutes. You hear him walking in there, walking away. He goes around the corner.
Go.
You got your mandolin, you're like, I don't know how to use it. You come to the door and Lily is glowing with magic.
It's magical.
Protections on it.
Protection magic.
You can hear them talking as they go down the hall away from you. It's more mumbles now, but they're going away. You realize they went, the hall when you turn, it goes way down and there's different chutes that go, hallways that shoot off, and they went to the first one and it's a smaller hallway.
I get to spell it. Eris would say I get to spell it. I don't have to do it on my mandolin, I can do it on memory. So it doesn't make a bunch of noise.
Take care of it.
She will.
What level are you?
20?
Hero persona, nice. Actually, I'll roll it, sorry.
Said 20th
20th
level.
level, okay.
Just said 20th.
26% will do it. The magic goes. It makes a little bit of noise, but not much. But because this place is so big, it kind of echoes that little tiny bit of noise. Gordon opens the door. When he opens the door, you guys see a bright white light going. And you come in, and there is, you can't really tell what it is. It's just light that's flickering with pure energy. Just goes from floor to ceiling. And it looks like a doorway. It does look like a doorway. It's got like it's cracked the way that the building is made. It's cracked with this light in between it. So it's like the room, when you look in the room, it goes 25 feet to the left and right, then it goes straight, and it kind of goes towards a triangulation point. And that light is in the center of that triangulation point, like it's part of the wall almost. And it's pulsating and it's blinding. You're like, you have to avert your eyes from it, or it'll blind you, you think. So everybody comes in, we close the door behind you, and make your way to the portal.
Yeah.
As you get close to it, about 10 feet from it, the sound goes away. As you get closer to the 10 feet, though, it's deafening. It's like, you're like, you can almost feel the energy. And it's just gone. And from 10 feet in, the light is just white. It's not even too bright to look at. You can look at it.
Interesting. Okay.
Gordon looks at you guys and
Scout ahead. I wonder if you can.
He goes invisible.
I wonder if you can come back through though to tell us. I guess you could telepathy me. The ring if you can.
He nods. Or he says in your head, yeah. Going through, he says. And you realize he included Alexandria in on that. And he steps through into the light.
How does Myra look?
Quizzical. She's like, kind of with a little smirk on her face. Do you think she feels okay? She's going to heaven, man. She's getting to go to heaven. She seems to be excited about that idea for some reason. About that moment, he comes back. We're good.
Okay.
Yeah, it's in the middle of a field. It's beautiful. The smell is... Anyway, let's go.
Let's go.
He looks over at Tuffy, and Tuffy nods, and Tuffy opens up a dimensional fold in this room, and Havoc steps through, all armored up and everything, and he looks at you, and you see other orcs come through, and they're all like ready to fight, you know, and Havoc's like, calm down, easy. They start coming into the room and going over towards the door. Havoc looks at you and goes, we've got it.
Okay.
Good luck.
You too.
You guys go through?
Yeah. Yeah, we go through. Yeah.
Into the bright light you go. When you come out of the bright light, you're standing in a field of butterflies. In the distance you can hear what sound like horns and chimes being played. It's the most beautiful thing you've ever heard. It's just angelic. And you can hear the waves lapping on a beach close by. You hear birds up in the air. You hear some seagulls over towards where you heard the lapping of the waves. You look up and you see a deer. It's about 12 feet from you guys, looking right at you. It kind of turns its head like that. Butterflies, like I said, everywhere. To your left is a mountain that, I don't know, maybe 7,000 feet or so tall. It's massive, and you're in the middle of this bowl-like area. As you turn from that first mountain, which I will say that's to the north, and to your east and south is where you hear the beach. To the north is this huge mountain, and then to the west is where the mountains continue to go around. It's like you're in a bowl, and they go all the way around to your southwest. But directly west from you is a mountain that you see, the whole top of the mountain is gold. And the sky is nothing but stars. There does not seem to be any light source. There's no moon, no sun. It's nighttime. But there's a light source from nowhere. You don't know where it comes from, but it's keeping the light a certain brightness, but it's not harsh, and it's not dark. Either one. It's perfect. Temperature, absolutely perfect. It's not too hot. It's not too cold. It's not. You're not. There's no humidity. There's no dryness or wetness in the air. The dirt you're standing on is lush and fertile, and the grass is growing up like that, and it's beautiful. You can smell the grass as you inhale it in through your nostrils. I need everybody to make a saving throw versus spells. I need everybody to either make a saving throw versus spells or use their magic resistance. You can't do both, but you can choose which one you want to do. I was just saving throws at the high level characters for sure. Those standing around, anybody that has, nobody has, Bay doesn't have his weapon out, so you guys don't either.
Does the magic resistance work for personal use on Ray's weapon if she's not holding it?
No.
No, so
No.
for her it would be spells as well.
Yep.
Let's start with Zira.
Gordon, yes.
Zira, no.
Gorgain, yes.
Yaman, yes.
Mal, no.
Fucking barely.
She can. There is yes.
Braid, yes. Myra, yes. Bay, yes. Tuffy, yes.
Yes.
Who was it that I said no on? Mal. And is Mal?
Zira missed it. Ray and Eris were fine.
Mal missed it.
So Zira and Mal both missed it.
You made yours?
Yes, both.
Zira and Mal for 2 to 12 turns. $11 turns. You just sit down and just enjoy yourself. And kick back and relax. And all your cares are just melting away. And you feel so content. Everybody else feels this way, okay? So it's not like you realize something magical happens. She just sits down, and Mal does too. That's all you really see, and then they just kind of kick back and just... And as you're doing it, you can hear the sounds of nature all about you, and you feel very content, even if it didn't affect you. Now, for every 24 hours, for every 12 hours that you are on this island on the first plane of heaven, you have to make that saving throw. Each time you make that saving throw, it's at a additional -1 or minus 5% magic resistance if you used magic resistance. So 3 days, 4 days, eventually you're going to miss it and sit down and enjoy yourself and just chill. Those that have missed it already, you'll still be making it, that save again. And it'll be normal and no negative the next time. But if you make it the next day, it'll be at a negative. So it's a continuous thing. As long as you're here in heaven, that's what's happening. So on the map, I got the map up for you so you can actually see where you're at. I'm going to tell you where you're located. You're in this valley right here next to Pilgrimage.
Okay.
In this, right where the marker is, where you're at.
All right.
So to your north is a mountain made of gold at the top. The mountain next to it also is made of gold. At the top you can see it shining. Way up here in the air you see some kind of structure. Well, you can see that it's like tower shaped, but what you really notice is some sort of spiral like bridge that just goes up, and it goes up into what you see, what looks like clouds at the top, but there's no clouds anywhere else. Only above this mountain is there a cloud, and there's a spiral staircase that goes from that all the way up into the cloud. To your south, almost direct south, just slightly southwest from you, is the town of Pilgrimage. Because you have a map, so you know that that's where that's located supposedly. And then up here, there's a military structure called Arconia Keep. So Harmony's Beach is here. So if you were to go this way, somewhere over in here, you might be able to see what's going on with the war. It's taking place right there. You did talk about going to Heart's Faith, but it's on the other side of where the war is taking place.
Right.
If there's something going on, you don't know. That's where you're at, is right there. One other thing, up around where the staircase is in this mountain right here, you see dragons like flying. and gliding. Then as your vision really takes a look, you can see at the top of that are smaller, what you think are dragons, and then you realize, no, they're winged beings. They're humanoid-sized winged beings, probably angels, that are flying up around that area as well. From where you're at, that's really all you can see, because this valley where you're at right here is lower than the beach area, so you don't see the ocean.
Okay.
You know it's over there. You can hear over in that direction. So if I was going to give you a distance from here to the beach, it'd be about a mile to Pilgrimage. The beach would be probably 2 miles to the beach. And you're in heaven. Your whole group is there. The first episode of Into Heaven, you actually made it into heaven,
We did.
which is really cool, but that's where we're going to stop. Pretty cool. You made it to the first plane of heaven, and not all the party members are there, but this is going to be interesting. You've got your quest of what you're supposed to do, and you're very comfortable. You feel good. Even the characters that are evil don't feel bad at all being here. It's not affecting you in a negative way. So that'll be it for this evening. Thank you for joining us. I'm Hupahu. This is Original GM, and we'll see you next time. Like, subscribe, share. Thank you all for your continued support. We love that you're enjoying our show like you are. Thank you, and peace out.
There's a gift inside the old gods granted me, a vision of the way to change reality. In the shadows creeping, can't rest your weary head. No time for you to sleep now, or evil it will spread. So gather all your friends and listen to my tale. Adventure story shaping magic and the veil. Dragons, devils, demons, and creatures that I fear, and heroes of the known. Just please don't be scared. The heroes are the monsters.